Hello, Oregon Moto John here. Just put a change of setting today because I said I'd show you guys some exercises that you could do on and off the bike. Most of them off for safety reasons, of course, but here we are. I have my beautiful assistant Angel's helping me today. Thought you'd rather see her doing exercises than me. Put the motorcycle in the background and helmet on Mr. Skinny, our skeleton here. So we're definitely at the right place. So for those of you who are currently subscribers, thank you. Appreciate your watching. Always fun to have you guys chime in. And if you're a new subscriber, please feel free to like and subscribe, and we'll try to keep some good motor-related content coming. But today we're focusing on just some stretches. So when you're on a motorcycle, basically a motorcycle they're pretty good overall because you can stand on a bike, you can stand and change positions, you can sit, but a lot of the times, especially if we're on a longer ride, we're sitting. And so if we're sitting for very long, we start to get into this kind of slouched position. You know, we don't have to have perfect posture. A little bit of that is okay, but if we slouch for very long, it puts a lot of pressure on our intervertebral discs. Sitting increases disc pressure quite a bit. That's why it's nice to stand when you can, to break that up. You can even offset and do a few back bends as you ride. But when we sit, we want to keep this inward curve or this lordosis. Generally speaking, and at times when we lose it, it doesn't hurt to sometimes stretch the other way or even stand up. Sometimes on my foot pegs when I'm riding, I'll just offset and stretch backwards. Same with your head, especially at the weight of the helmet. Neck pain can be a common thing. Even while I'm riding with the helmet on, I put my helmet on, but you'll be able to see what I'm doing. You want to pull your neck back. You want to stretch even while you're riding. Pull that back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Squeeze them back, and we'll do this off as well. So you want to squeeze your shoulder blades together, get a good curve in your back, stretch it, and then release that. Get to more of a neutral position. And then you also want to stretch your neck back. Just kind of stretch that neck back as you ride. So we're going to show you how to do that off the bike, which is probably the safer way to do it. But a lot of these things I just wanted to kind of explain. I do them, versions of them while they're riding, which would just be getting a big curve on my back and relaxing out of that. Proper posture on a bike would be getting a big curve and then relaxing out, and somewhere in here. I've raised my handlebars a bit with the sub-mount stabilizer. The stabilizer was really what I was after, but it does raise the bars up, which gets me in a better position. If your bars are too low, you're going to it's easy to end up down here. Now, there's so many different motorcycles. There's so many different bikes out there. It'd be impossible for me to cover every bike in every position today. So I'm going to give you general guidelines. You guys are all really smart, and I'd like you to try to apply those, to your situation. But if nothing else, you'll have some exercises that you can perform off the bike. You can stand up a little bit, do a few back bends to offset sitting, and you can be a little more aware of your positioning on the bike and try to avoid these slouched forward head positions, which you can just tell. Anytime your spine's making a C, that's not good for your spine, okay? You want S-shaped curve, which would be inward curve here, slight curve of the thoracic spine, and then your neck should curve back in again. So that's just the way it should go. So you'd have an inward curve of the spine. This model doesn't really bend very well. You'd have a thoracic curve, which would the blue vertebrae here, a slight curve this way, and then the neck should again have a little bit of curve in it. So thank you. All right, well, let's get started. Let's go over some stretches. And then just as a footnote, I have been a physical therapist for over 20 years. I have some special training with regards to the spine and mechanical diagnosis and therapy. So it's something that I'm familiar with. These are things that we can all do. So the first thing Angel is going to demonstrate is just some arm swings. This is a warm-up, and this is just something you can do to warm up your shoulders, stretching your pecs, getting your scapular retractors, kind of in the back here, just getting everything moving, okay? Because with motorcycles, you're obviously going to use your shoulders, okay? Holding onto the handlebars, and we'll have a separate series where we go beyond stretches and we go into strengthening. To do strengthening and stretches today, it would take so much of your time that it would just be difficult to make that in a video that anybody would want to watch. So we're hitting kind of things you can do while you're riding off the bike, on the bike, stretches, and then we'll hit strengthening on another video upcoming. So the next one is just kind of a cross shoulder stretch. And how many arm swings, backtracking a bit, you do 10 to 15. How many of these? You do a couple, 10 count hold or so, and then you do the other side. And notice how she's keeping her arm below shoulder level. We don't want to bring it up here and pinches the shoulder. She's dropping it down and coming across, so this is perfect. You're stretching kind of the back of the shoulder, these interscapular muscles here, back of the shoulder, and just kind of, again, a general warm-up. The other exercise that we alluded to is just stretching your back backwards. Hands parallel to spine, and then you're just stretching backwards. If you have a back condition, just go. You may not be as flexible as Angel, that's okay. Just go to where you can, even if it's just a little wiggle, just a little bit like that if you're stiff. Or if it hurts, as the adage goes, don't do it. This isn't meant to be medical advice. These are just stretches that will work for most people. When we're offloading this way, we're leveling out some of the pressures in our discs. If you're going to sit on a bike, you definitely need to go the other way. Kind of the rule of opposites, if you will. Just like if you were, painting the ceiling, it probably would feel good to look down for a moment. Okay, just kind of a common sense thing there. We were hitting on some other exercises, and one was scapular retraction, where while you're riding, you can squeeze your shoulder blades together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then release. Go ahead, Angel. So she's squeezing, it's like you're squeezing a dime, pinching these shoulder blades together, or the scapula. You can see how they're pinching together, and she's releasing. You don't have to kill it, but you do want to squeeze with a good squeeze. Okay, that's something you could do. Ideally off the bike, but you can do a version of that while you're riding, just to have a little posture correction going on so you're not getting into that forward flex position. The other one is when you're riding, when I'm sitting on a bike, my hip flexors are shortened, and those hip flexors can get a little bit stiff. So one of the best things you can do, you got some hip pain when you're sitting for a long period of time, is you get up, and she's going to do a hip flexor stretch. She's going to put one leg back, and she's going to, so she's going to put, I put that one back there, perfect. And then she's stretching through here, and she's also getting her calf muscle as she's doing that too. See how she's pulling her hips forward, and she's stretching, you'll feel a stretch through here. And you can also catch your calf because you're keeping your heel down and your knee straight. You can get the low back, but if your back hurts on that, I would take the low back out of it. So you can pull just the hips through, and I can keep my back relatively straight. But you can also get a little bit back bend to that. But if your back hurts, remove the back extension component, just stay straight, and then just translate your hips through, getting the hip flexor stretch here, as well as the calf stretch over here. Important to keep the knee straight, get the calf, also getting the hip. So this is a nice one. If you're going to pick one exercise to do, this might be it, because you can get your hips, your hip flexors, you can get your calf, and you can get a little back extension all in one exercise. So if you don't do anything else in this video, maybe you do this one. I do some scapular squeezes too. Those are easy to do. And how long do you hold those? You can hold them up to 20 seconds, but I get it. If you get off of a bike, you're getting ready to go have something to eat or go for a walk, maybe you do 10 seconds. You just do 10 seconds, and you hit the other side, another 10 seconds. So I guess what I'm saying here is something is better than nothing. Just do what you can. Another exercise that you can do is motorcycle. when you're on a bike, you're using a lot of wrists, forearms, and so just a simple stretch is to just pull the fingers back, stretching your forearm flexors. An important feature of this exercise is to have the elbow straight. If the elbow isn't straight, then it takes away some of the stretch because these muscles cross the elbow joint. And then she's stretching the other direction. And then how long? Maybe a 10-second hold. And you do a couple on each side. There you go. Great. And then you can do the other side as well. Perfect. Stretching that side. And then, giving it a 10-second hold or so. And then stretching the other side. Okay, those are just a few exercises that are easy to do. Again, motorcycle riding has a lot of flexion, so we want to mitigate that by being as straight as we can. But even then, it's not always enough, so we want to really try to get shoulder blades back, stretch this way, stretch our hip flexors this way, get our neck stretching this way. You can even look back a little bit. And again, don't do anything that hurts. This isn't what this is about. All of us have different bodies that work differently. So the point of these stretches is to just make sure we're getting everything going this way. I want you to, squeeze your shoulder blades together, stretch your hip flexors out, stretch your calves, stretch your neck. You can even look up now and then. That's a good thing to do. Just get your spine going the other direction, or at least neutral, as opposed to getting in that flex position that we all like to get into. I hope this helps. Don't do anything that hurts. We're not asking you to hurt yourself. Just go to the point of tightness, not pain. That's really important. We all have different bodies. There's wear and tear. There's different medical conditions. And so just do what's comfortable for you. Go to the point of maybe tightness and a slight pull, but never, ever, ever pain. I hope this is useful. I hope it helps you have less pain, and I hope it helps you extend your riding years. And please stay tuned. I'm looking forward to doing a strengthening series where Angel will come back and we'll go over strengthening for the different body parts, for shoulders, elbows, forearms, hips, thighs, even calves. Riding is a very physical sport and even balance. So I'm going to try to make a motorcycle specific program, and ideally it'll start out fairly basic, but I'll throw in a few more advanced exercises if you want something harder. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And keep riding, stay safe, and have a fabulous day.